Never miss an opportunity to compliment someone. This is a saying I heard at some point in my life, and it was always something I tried to practice even before I knew the saying. I would always try to build people up, and I notice it's not something most people do. And when someone is trying to start something, they're in like a uniquely vulnerable position. Like it's easy to break their will to try because they're unsure of themselves. They're stepping into new territory. And I would always try to build that person up, like make them secure. And I notice most people don't do that. Most people will say something like passively negative, like, you're not the type of person that can do that. You don't have the whatever to be able to do that. Like, they'll say something passively negative. And I would always try and build them up, like I said. And it's because, like, I remember what it was like when I was young and everything I tried to do when I was before the age of like 10, because by then I had just stopped trying to do anything because I knew anything I did, I was going to get publicly humiliated for. And if I said anything back, my day was going to get a lot worse. And realistically, I never would have said anything back because I knew what would have happened. And I knew what that would have meant. In fact, I would have helped them denigrate me. Like, I would have made fun of myself like they were doing. And like this desperate bid to get like affection from the people who are supposed to love me. Um, but like that position, like that low feeling, like hating yourself that much, just like I would hate myself more so I could try to get like affection from the people like around me, like family and stuff. But obviously that never worked. Obviously it just made me feel worse about myself. But I wasn't in a position where I was by far the youngest and there was nothing I could do to stand up for myself. And like when you have it like your will quite literally beaten out of you, uh, you I never said anything about anything that went on because I just assumed I was gonna get beaten and humiliated for it. Which, from my experience, that was what happened. And so, like, I always remember how low that felt. Like, how desperate I was for anyone to do anything positive. So, like, I've always tried to do that. And, like, even though people can say like I'm kind of crazy, and even when I was like arguably dangerous, it's I would always try to build people up still, especially it's if it's someone in like a vulnerable position, someone trying something new, even if I didn't know them. Now, I'm not saying most people should do that, but I notice most people don't like to do that. And like, I interpret that is the reason people don't like to be supportive of others is because they believe it like shows weakness. It puts them in a weak position because now they're like co signing this person. So, like, if that person gets destroyed and made fun of, by association, they're looking stupid. Because I can't figure out why people are so, like, afraid to be supportive of others. I can't figure this out. And part of me believes, like, this is what was done to them. When they tried to do stuff, they were, like, people were mean to them. So, like, in their mind, when they see someone try something, I be mean to that person because that's what people do. When I try to do stuff, people are mean to me. And now it would appear that the way I experience this is a bit more extreme than most, but like those two things line up. Like my experiences and the experiences of the vast majority of the people around me, like upper and lower class that I've experienced, because most people are cruel when they see someone trying something new. They're gonna say something at least passively negative. Stuff like, you'll never be able to do that, you're not the type of person that can do that, that type of stuff. And I don't. And I always put effort into trying to build them up. And like I said, I can't figure out why people don't do this. Like, is it because they are afraid to like appear vulnerable by being kind? Like, is that what it is? Are people just that much of pricks and deserve harsh treatment? Because someone that would do that, in my opinion, like they deserve harsh treatment. Like, I, if someone's not nice, then they deserve to be treated badly, right? Like, I mean, I'm not like, I don't feel that's being a dick. Like, if you're not gonna be nice, then yeah, you deserve to be treated badly. Like, I don't think that's much of a stretch, but once again, my ability to read social situations is obviously somewhat off. But hey, I don't know what it is. And I can't trust my own instincts here. When it comes to like society at large, like I can interpret things, I can try and figure out, and on an individual emotional level, I'm usually pretty competent. Like I'm pretty savvy and pretty sharp. But when it comes to like groups and society as a whole, I just read them so negatively that I can't trust my own judgment. I but like I said, I always remember what that felt like when I was young. And like specifically, I remember like being so weak that I was willing to like further humiliate myself just to try and get the approval of like the people who were humiliating me, which was like family. And like I would say awful shit about myself just to try to get like their support. And I mean, this is like a 6 or 7 year old. So, like, I always knew and like I never forgot what that felt like. So, I always try to avoid other people having to deal with that. And so I would always try to compliment people when there's a chance to. Like, build them up, don't tear them down. But I don't feel I'm being unfair when I say, like, most people don't do that. And now I'm fucking spitting because I'm mad. Anyway, never miss an opportunity to compliment someone. Take it for what it's worth, I guess.